I mean, Brandon can, but
Okay. All
I
right.
can look at it on my phone, yeah. But
Yeah, I will too.
Yeah.
All right, it's setting up right now. I think we are live.
Yep, we are.
Yep, we are.
I think we're live, boys.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and mute this.
How's everyone doing?
Good, man. Good.
Yep, we are.
We're living the dream.
Yeah.
I'm looking still Hawaii vibing. Pretty sick.
We are. Are you guys? Does one of you guys have us on your mobile device?
I did. I muted it on the mobile device. We should avoid the backlash now.
Cool. All right. Well.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. I can't see anything because I'm on a phone, so I'm assuming people are coming in.
Yeah.
We got about 18 in right now. How we doing? 2 Point Sports Nation.
Yeah.
24 now. They're slowly trickling in. We'll hang out for a few minutes before we get going.
Yeah, everyone that's on the stream right now, go ahead and share it on Twitter so we can get up to 150 this time. I think last time we got up to 120 at any given time.
Yeah, 116, 120, something like that. Yeah,
we're not competing with whoever it was that we did last time. This time,
OU Insider. Yeah,
OU Insider. Yeah.
Directly.
We're keeping
no direct competition tonight.
Yeah. Oh, there's Daxon Kesey coming in. Jose's getting that tan. Yeah, Hawaii life. What a guy. On his honeymoon, Brandon and I were convinced that he would not even watch the video, let alone join us.
Thought he'd never talk to us again, actually.
I've been tuning in. This is a passion, boys. It's not a job.
You're telling me you've been watching every episode in its entirety. Then why have you done the you haven't hit one end of video challenge since you've been gone, bud?
Yeah.
Because I forget to do that. I'm busy.
He doesn't watch it all the way through. He watches the first few minutes and calls it good.
He's a part-timer.
I watch him. I can't say I'm a first-class passenger on this one, boys, but I watch him. I did tune into the live this morning because I woke up at like 5 a.m. So I woke up like right on time.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
it was a pretty fun episode.
Yeah, how are you doing, Sean Hall? He's saying what's going on. Aaron, Boomer, Sooner.
Jack Sooner says return of the Mac.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was his back?
He is back.
Hold on. You're actually about to be back full time, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna miss Wednesday's video, but I'll be back for Friday.
Okay.
So I won't be gone for long, boys.
Only one more video, hoseless.
And then he'll be back.
We're almost back. Sorry. Trying to position you guys here because it's gonna be a bitch to hold this phone up for 30 minutes or however long I'm gonna be on.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
What do you think of Heath Ozaeta, fellas? I guess we'll roll into that since that's what you titled it, pretty sure. But
yeah,
I think it's an underrated commit. The dude is, if you watch his tape, like I said, I was talking to Brace earlier about my roommate, and you guys know him well, but he's a dude who's 6'6", 300, but moves like a tight end. Like that at a tackle spot is pretty scary to me.
No, and that's the thing is, whenever OU offered him immediately, I thought the concern was that it was Peyton Kirkland was going to go to Michigan State, and you saw the crystal balls coming in and whatnot for Michigan State, but really it came down to the fact that I think it was Jaden Chapman who ended up committing to Texas, and then they gave an offer, and then he went and Ozaeta visited, and I didn't know, but he's originally from Edmond. I didn't know if you guys knew that, but he's got family here. But as far as his play on field, I think he's a 4-star from On3. He's got a lot of potential and a lot of upside. I mean, we talk about that frame, 6'6", already 300 pounds. Jose, what do you think?
It's going to be important. I mean, I think we've all kind of agreed that, and I've said it a few times now, this staff this year is looking to get a fully new line, like just trying to get 2 tackles, 2 guards in the center. And now we have checked off we have Bates, who I believe can play most positions, but he's mainly on the inside. And I think he'll be probably playing center in college. Ozaeta is going to be a tackle. hopefully we get Caden Green soon. He tweeted about it. It's coming up, or like, kind of a teaser tweet that he's going to make a decision soon enough. So hopefully that one is towards Oklahoma, and then there's still plenty of time for Kirkland to change his mind. Maybe we had 3 tackles and we kick one into the inside or something. I don't know, but it's looking good. I mean, every time we make a video, people like to say that we are pushing the panic button too early or whatever, and maybe that's true, but you kind of got to get the recruits early. Like, they're not, the coaches aren't that far behind, and the staff has been recruiting, maybe not for Oklahoma exclusively, but they have been recruiting for longer than 2 years now. So they have established relationships. They just have to get these guys to commit soon. And I think July should be a big difference. It seemed, I think we were all excited for the summer to start because these kids have more time and start making decisions. But it seems like June was maybe a little too early, because we're seeing a lot more decisions come out, the last week. Texas got 5 kids yesterday. They got 1 today. The safety, Derek Williams. I don't know if it was today or like late last night or something, but that was a safety that randomly put OU in his top 8. Came out of nowhere to us, at least. And I mean, he committed to Texas because of Arch Manning, and when we talked about him, that was definitely something that was going to play a role in some kids' recruitment. But Oklahoma's fine. We just needed, hopefully, what's his name? The kid that's going to commit on Thursday. That's between us and Florida.
Samuel Osamingo.
Yeah, hopefully that's for Oklahoma. I was doing some social media creeping, and it seems like Oklahoma is the leader. Outside of crystal balls, I think social media tells a big story for these guys right now.
I'd be shocked if we didn't land him, Omasigo, or whatever, how to pronounce it. And that is another player that I think people aren't going to give enough credit for, because people too often, and it's not to say that we don't think stars matter, because they do, but people too often look at a guy like Heath Ozaeta and the first thing they see is 3-star, and they don't get excited. Or with Omasigo, he's also a 3-star right now. You land those guys in, sometimes, not everybody, but your casual fan, I guess should say, is like, oh, he's not a 4 or 5-star, he's not very good. But both of these kids that I think we're going to get this week are going to be pretty good. And if you guys watched the video this morning, Samuel was part of the original 2 Plane Sports Crystal Ball series. So we're feeling pretty good about his chances on Thursday.
Yeah,
good video.
It was a pretty darn good video, and anyone that's watching, Jose, there you go. Just turned it off 2 planes.
All right, boys.
Yeah, no problem. But no, I think Omasigo, I think that's how you say Omasigo. I think he's an OU commit for sure. And, that puts together a pretty solid June, in the month of June, 4 commits for OU. I know that they haven't been 3-stars, but, it's like the NFL. Do you really want to win the off season? I mean, it seems like the same teams are always winning the off season. One of the teams that comes to my mind is Brandon's Dolphins. They always win the off season.
Hey, and the Dolphins win on the field too.
No, when's the last time we won anything?
We put 2 back-to-back winning seasons together. I'm just going to tell you that right now, boys.
How are the playoffs going?
Brum, what's your Patriots record against the Dolphins in the last 3 meetings? Is it 3 or 4 meetings? What are we sitting at now? Are you 0-3, 0-4? Or are you 1-4 the last 4?
I think
1-3 last 4.
I think it's 1-3 in the last 4.
I know you got clean broomstick last year.
Yeah, no, it wasn't great. But
it sounds like Miami teams are just notorious for winning off seasons. Speaking of Miami, with Jaden Rashada's NIL.
He only went there because he felt it was his best chance to win a national title, boys. The $9.5 million had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
My first thought when I saw that is, he was almost going to be a Sooner at one point if it wasn't for Jackson Arnold. Like, would he have stuck around as long as Jackson has? I think so, but like, how much money would Oklahoma have to pay? How much money is any given 5-star getting right now? If that kid is getting 9.5,
it is 9.5 million reasons to say he's committed.
Did you guys see what Brace just commented down there, talking about the Dolphins? Fired head coach for winning. crying, laughing face.
Yeah, true. No,
that ain't it. We also got this is an interesting question that's sitting here in the chat, and Sean Hall and Heath Shields were talking about it. Where do you guys think we sit for Anthony Hill? Sean Hall saying A&M lean, which makes a lot of sense, but I'm going to say it here on the show for the first time, and I hate to say it, but with the addition of Arch Manning, I think Anthony Hill is quickly going to become a Texas lean.
I mean, yeah, I that's going to happen to a lot of kids. And I do think that Texas is going to win the offseason. I mean, they're already doing, they're having a great run in their commits over the last week. But Anthony Hill, yeah, Texas could still be there. I just have a hard time believing that A&M isn't still the leader for them. While I do hope that OU is the eventual landing spot, my gut's just telling me that Anthony Hill's just not going to be our guy. But having to commit from Caleb Hicks, that helps as well. Maybe with our chances, it's going to be interesting to see if A&M and Texas struggle this fall and OU does really well and Venables has the linebackers playing really well. Does that start to change? Because I think that's a bigger story is while OU is going to have a great month and they're going to, and like we talked about on earlier today on our video, and then what we're going to talk about in just a bit is OU could be a top 5 class in the next month. But if OU puts together a great football season, they're going to flip 2 or 3 guys that I think are going to be kind of shocking to people.
That I think is, I was talking to my younger brother Jerry this morning about it. He's not an Arch Manning fan, and I guess he says he hasn't been an Arch Manning fan since before the Texas thing. I think he's probably lying about that, but either way, now he says genuinely Arch Manning's not very good. Jackson Arnold's better, which I actually do agree with the Jackson Arnold being better take. However, Brum, going back to your whole, if OU puts together a season, if the linebackers are balling out, does Anthony Hill reconsider and stuff like that? And I think it does. Like say you're dating a girl, right? And you're committed and stuff, and it's fun, and she's gone. But while she's gone, you just become fat and greasy. You're slamming cheeseburgers at the cheeseburger picnic. You're smoking darts every night. You don't look very good. She flips that commitment. It's the same thing here. When Texas goes 5-7 or 6-6 or 7-5, they're the greasy cheeseburger guy, and OU is going to be the good-looking rip dude. They flip their commitment. I think a lot of these kids who are committed to Texas because of Arch Manning are going to end up flipping their commitment because you don't want the greasy cheeseburger dart smoker.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Shout out Trailer Park Boys. Cheeseburger picnic. Never forget. Jose, what do you think?
Speaking of that, your little analogy there, Brandon, do you guys see that Zachariah Branch took his an official to A&M? I think that's fucking LOL.
Yeah, it's like we've seen that once or twice before.
Especially with receivers. Under Lincoln Riley, I could never see a receiver decommit and go to an SEC school. I don't think that's ever happened in his career.
Yeah. So we'll go through. I'm going to go through some of the comments. Okay, so let's see. Ben Baker, he likes the show. Ben, we're glad to have you here. And then Keaton, yes, the trifecta is back. Drake says, congrats on the marriage, Jose. Let's see. Then they picked up the 5-star safety today, as you alluded to a little bit earlier. We talked about Anthony Hill. Let's see. Do we recruit linemen up north like Montana or Iowa? That's a question from David Whitehead. And I'll just say I think we try to, but really Nebraska's been kind of the furthest up in the Midwest that we've started to really recruit and actually land kids in recent memory. I know there's been some commits from surrounding states, but someone that I don't know if anyone from Iowa or Montana really comes to my mind, or the Dakotas, or even Minnesota. I might be forgetting someone. Do you guys have any idea? I really don't think. I don't think we do. I think we stay out of that. That's more Big Ten country.
It's pretty tough to go up there and try to get an offensive lineman. I mean, look at Caden Proctor. He's crystal ball to Iowa, and I mean, granted, he's from Iowa, but it for a school like Alabama, who's produced multiple first-round tackles in the last 5 years, it's been hard for them to go up there and grab probably the best tackle in his class this year. So, I mean, it's not easy for anyone. I mean, you would think Bama would have the best chance of trying to pull a kid out of Iowa or Nebraska or Montana, those states up north. But that Iowa, I think Iowa's got the best hold on that in that territory with those big men. But I mean, Nebraska might start trying to do something with NIL, helping out a lot of these schools that have not been performing to their historic best. But we'll see what happens.
There's a lot of buy Joby chat going on right now, and I unfortunately agree with most everybody in the chat saying it doesn't look. Pretty much they're saying it doesn't look good for OU, and unfortunately I agree. Do you guys have any different take on that one?
Do what?
Where is he leaning?
I think Alabama's up in his recruitment. I think Georgia's there too. OU is, still up there. I feel like OU's third right now behind Georgia and Alabama. I think Alabama's number one. I think this is going to be where OU's a victim of the previous staff because the previous staff didn't really care about Joby. It seems to be a reoccurring thing for whatever reason. Kids that are good in your backyard, they just ignored. So it's going to be tough to get him out of there. We now are up over 120 people, 123 people. So that's the most we've ever had in a live stream for our second live stream. We appreciate everyone here. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, help us out, turn the notification bell. My intros, you guys probably have tired of hearing me say that. Jag Sooner also just said Dalen Smothers just released his top 4. Yeah, I just saw that. Florida State, OU, Alabama, and NC State. I don't see Alabama being a true dog in this fight. It's going to be a 3-team race. And I will say I'm not as confident with Dalen Smothers as I was a little bit ago after his official visit to Florida State. His mom made the trip. The only official visit she went on was to Florida State. I feel like a lot of times that has, that weighs into kids' decisions. I don't know. My gut's telling me that Florida State might be the spot. I think that's his third trip down to Tallahassee. I'm not saying that OU's out of it. It's concerning to me. What do you guys think?
If that's the case, do we move on to Sergio Snyder? Is he next in line, we think?
I think he's the next take. And if they don't end up getting him, I feel like it's just probably going to be a transfer or a JUCO guy. Dalen Smothers does worry me a little bit, but I feel like you could definitely lock him down. Okay.
This is the one position coach outside of Todd Bates. Yeah, I feel comfortable saying outside of Todd Bates, DeMarco Murray knows what he's doing with recruiting these guys and making sure that it's a guy that'll fit the system or the run scheme. And I mean, if he can't get him, it's not like he was beat by no one. There was other schools there that are in contention with maybe not great recent past, but they're trying to do something. I mean, Florida State almost had the number 1 recruit in last year's cycle. They just lost at the last second. But they can recruit, and they just had to be able to keep them. So there's another point for Oklahoma. Florida State can't keep shit in their recruiting classes. Maybe we just take him on later after he commits to Florida State. And then December comes around, DeMarco Murray sneaks into the conversation and gets another running back to this class.
I'd also say that Cale Gundy's been doing a hell of a job this offseason with what he's doing in that receiver room. We got Keon Brown. We're sitting in a pretty good spot with Cole Adams, sitting in a pretty good spot with Chikwueze Petaway, who I think is I think in the 23 class outside of Jackson Arnold, if I can pick anybody to be a Sooner, it'd either be Caden Green or Chikwueze Petaway. I can't really decide. I think Chikwueze Petaway is going to be stupid, boys. That's one that if we can pair him up in the slot with Keon Brown and Jaden Gibson long term, that is a dangerous receiving room.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into kind of what we talked about earlier in today's video. Jose, you watched the video, but if you didn't watch it all the way through, we covered 4 guys that we thought were going to commit within the next. You what?
I told you I saw it. I'm a two-plane sports fan.
That is
I know I
true.
just went away
Live
there,
from
but I
Hawaii.
watched it.
Yeah.
I watch it at 5 a.m. Who's more
Yeah.
dedicated than that?
That's the truth. So, all right. So we went over 4 guys, and I will say that in our total list of 8 people that we thought were going to commit, Heath Ozaeta has to be full transparency. I didn't think he was going to commit as soon as he did. That was a nice surprise end of June. We talked about Sam Osomingo potentially committing, which is Thursday, right? I think it's on the 30th. I feel really good about him, but we talked about him this morning. So let's move on to the next guy, and then we'll kind of go through some of these guys, and we'll take some questions as we go through. The first guy I think we feel really good about, and you were just alluding to him, Brandon, is Chikwueze Petaway. Petaway, he's electric with the ball in his hands. He's a 2023 4-star, 5'11", 170-pound guy, number 47 overall, and number 8 wide receiver in the class. For a while there, I felt like OU wasn't really in a great spot for him, earlier. And I kind of felt like Michael Harrison Pilot was going to be the guy for OU, or one of the guys for him. And that has since shifted since Arch Manning has committed. It seems like Harrison Pilot's going to be a Longhorn, or at least commit to the Longhorns here within the next month or so. And kind of on the flip side, Chikwueze Petaway has really started trending towards OU since his official visit up to Oklahoma. He left, I think he went and visited Texas, I believe, was it on the 17th? He also visited Ole Miss on the 10th, and then OU on the 3rd. But and really the buzz coming from that visit wasn't as good as they thought it was going to be. At least the Longhorns thought it was going to be. And OU's in a fantastic spot. Petaway is a must get. And I think we were talking about it last night, Brandon, or on this video this morning, was OU's getting their number 1 targets in a lot of areas. And Petaway is a number 1 guy. What do you think on that one, Brandon?
Chikwueze go crazy. That's what I think about him. He is, you mentioned it, man. The dude is dynamic. His tape is probably the most fun to watch of all the kids we're targeting in the 23 class. And as I just alluded to, I mean, Jackson Arnold, you have to have him. He's the number 1 recruit we're going to get, 5-star quarterback, most important position on the field. I think he's going to be really, really good. But outside of Jackson Arnold, when I look at the 23 class, Chikwueze Petaway, he's either 2 or 2A with Caden Green in terms of who we must lock down, because the dude does everything with the ball in his hands. He runs every single route so crisp. He can go deep. He can run short, intermediate, whatever. But the most fun thing about him is just, the ball in his hand thing. He can turn a quick bubble screen into a 75-yard touchdown where he makes 14 people miss and jukes people out of their shoes and does all sorts of just ridiculously talented athletic things. He returns punts, kicks. He's a guy that you just have to find ways to get the ball into his hands, whether it be end around, gadget plays, whatever. Just get the ball and he makes magic. Chikwueze go crazy.
I have to ask, did you come up with that yourself, or did you see that somewhere?
I didn't see that anywhere. You guys can go through the chat. It's really not all that hard. Crazy rhymes with Chikwueze.
Well, thank you. I understand that, but I just didn't know if you were the originator of this. Jose, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of exotic bugs here, boys. I'm trying to dodge them, but there's definitely a good chance that Oklahoma's gonna secure his commitment. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know as much about Chikwueze as you guys. It seems like Brandon's been watching every single high school game that young guy has played. But I mean, I've said it for months now. I mean, the wide receivers are a necessity, and it has become a lesser of a weakness. Looking into the future, not next year. After next year, it's become lesser urgent, less urgency that we need to have as I guess that this school needs to have as a priority for wide receivers. But having more of them is never a bad call, especially if injuries happen all the time. We've seen it with unfortunately with Theo Weiss, he's been riddled with injuries, and hopefully that changes this year and he can be lead bound. But you need depth, and wide receivers are you can find a lot of them that are good, but you can't find a lot of them that can be great. And if Brandon is vouching for him and saying that he can go crazy, then let's go ahead and see if we can get his commitment hopefully before his senior season. I think that to me is what is important with getting commitments, is getting as many kids to commit before their senior season as possible, because that's when they have less time to change their minds. That's when, like, if they change their minds, something went wrong, or another school went full court press to get them to decommit.
No, that's true. Petaway is a humongous target. I feel like, I mean, he's a must get in this class. I mean, considering how good he is, I really think OU is going to lock him down. I think once he commits, it's going to be done. I will say I don't know his exact commitment timeline, but I believe it's going to be within the next month or so. So that's a good addition right there. There's been some comments and some people have been talking about Derek LeBlanc. And I will say Derek LeBlanc wasn't included in these 8 guys. Now I will say Heath Ozaeta can be 9 guys now. So Derek LeBlanc is outside of this, and we'll move right to him. LeBlanc, we've talked about him at length on this show. 2023 4-star, number 76 overall, number 7 defensive lineman in the class. He's 6'4", 270, extremely dominant. His senior season had 15 sacks, 65 tackles, 17 tackles for loss. Just a terrific player, someone that would be a humongous get for this defensive line. He's been to OU 6 times. Kind of some backstory. He was originally slated to commit, I believe it was July 23rd, and then pushed it back to October, took a visit to Florida this past weekend, pushed up his commitment date. I think he announced today, I think it's July 28th, I believe it is. OU, Penn State, and Florida. LeBlanc, while that doesn't look good, there's something telling me that I still feel like OU is, I'm not saying that they're going to land him for sure, but I feel like OU is still in this neck and neck with Florida. And it seems like LeBlanc has maintained that OU is going to get a visit this fall no matter what. And with that, I feel like OU's got a really good shot, especially if he shows up on campus. Even if he commits and he shows up for an official in September, October, whenever it is, I like our odds with Venables, getting his commitment, even whether it's flipping or getting his initial commitment at the end of next month. Jose, what do you think?
Yeah, this guy, I think Oklahoma's got a really good lead for him. Now, I know that, like you mentioned, he moved his commitment date a few times now from July, whatever it was, late in July to moved it back to October, and now it's again late in July. But I mean, we pointed it out. We were talking about it a couple weeks ago, I think, is when it happened. He changed his profile picture, and I know it's not, it's not the biggest deal, but that's the first time he'd ever done it to any sort of lean to any school, and it's Oklahoma. I feel like that's a big deal. He's been methodical. I think kids are getting smarter with how they use social media, and they're getting a little bit more methodical with how they use it to kind of show where they're leaning. And it seems like Oklahoma's still in a good position. Could Florida get him? Potentially. I mean, they're doing a lot of work with a lot of guys right now, but I think defensive line wise, why wouldn't you go play for Todd Bates and Coach Miguel Chavis? So I feel confident still with him. I don't think Florida is a big competitor, but they are a competitor. It's just a matter of closing the deal now over the next month.
I hate to be the pessimistic one because I feel like I never am on this show, but with LeBlanc, I don't feel very good about it, unfortunately. I think he would be a huge get and a guy that I would love to see on campus. I think he's a freak. And you mentioned him being on campus 6 times, which, yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, he clearly has some legitimate interest there. And I also understand that Florida's closer for him and all of that, but he's been to Florida, I feel like, unofficially or officially, combine the both, close to like 20 times, like legitimately 20 times. Like, that's absurd. I think the number of visits favors them. I think the proximity favors them. And those are 2 things we talk about on this show all the time, as far as importance and things of that nature. So I would love to see LeBlanc commit on July 28th, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong. And on July 28th, he commits, and I can say I'm an idiot and all that, because I truly hope I'm wrong. But I unfortunately feel like he's going to be Gainesville bound.
I would say the safe money is on Gainesville and Florida, getting his commitment. While these guys that we're talking about now, it's a total of 10 guys. OU's not most likely going to be going 10 for 10. That would be best case scenario. OU most likely would probably go like 8 for 10, and LeBlanc would probably be one of those two guys that could go elsewhere, and rightfully so. I mean, I feel like it depends on the day. It depends on what side of the bed he wakes up on, what he's feeling, what he likes about, Florida, what he likes about Oklahoma. There's got to be things that he likes about each school for different reasons. And, the relationship with Bates is what has really kept LeBlanc and OU talking and really interested in truly in this race. So while I still feel good, if I were to put money on it, I would agree with you, Brandon. But I still feel there's some gut feeling telling me that OU could still end up getting his commitment at the end of the day when it comes early December for the National Signing Day.
I hope that's what happens. That is the ideal situation.
Yeah. And Jimmy Satterfield commented saying, I feel better about LeBlanc than Hicks. I would agree. David Hicks is a 5-star. He's number one in his position. While I want to really think that OU truly has a shot with Hicks, I just think I've been burned so many times with 5-star defensive players. It's just like, man, when are we going to crack through and finally get one? I'd love Hicks to, be the first in a long time, but I don't know. There's something telling me. Do you guys have any thoughts on Hicks and his recruitment?
Jimmy Satterfield, if I remember correctly, and this is going back a while, but I think he's a fellow Dolphin with me. And if that's true, go fish, Jimmy Satterfield. We got this.
I think you're right.
Jimmy, just let us know in the comment section if you have had to go through all that loss in your life, because that's unfortunate. Maybe you should hit the fan free agency market in the NFL and go find a team that can win something for you. But with DJ, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be an uphill battle. I mean, he's been to Oklahoma a few times, but it seems like A&M, very much like with Anthony Hill, they've been ahead for so long that it's going to be an uphill battle for whichever school. But it's not done until that piece of paper is signed. So anything is possible between now and December or February, whenever it is that those kids sign. But boys, I got to get out of here. My phone is about to die, and I think we're going to leave in like 15 minutes. So I got to get some juice so I don't get lost between here and wherever I'm going.
All right.
Well, have fun just living the Hawaii life, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I'll see you guys Thursday. I'll see the crew on here Friday morning. Don't miss out. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 9:30 Central, as Brandon said at his best man speech at my wedding. He cut a quick promo. But all right, boys. I'll see you later.
Yep. All right. See you, Jose. We'll see you Friday. All right.
I did shout out 2 Plain Sports in that best man speech at the wedding.
You did.
You should have recorded that and had it for, like a little promo for the show.
I should have. I know, idiot. So on here, we're over 150. We're at 156 by my count. We're getting closer to 200. Help us get us there. Share it, subscribe, like the video, help us out. And we like these comments coming in. Jag Sooner also commented saying that he believes that OU will take 4 wide receivers. I think it's Anthony Brown, Jaquazi Petaway, Cole Adams, and shock the world with Jalen Greathouse.
I saw that and I like it. I love the confidence spew in there. Jalen Greathouse would be. I mean, if Cale Gundy can pull off that haul on top of what I feel pretty good about Jaquazi O'Crazy. I feel pretty good about Cole Adams. If he can swing Anthony Brown and Jalen Greathouse, there's a legitimate conversation we had about Cale Gundy being the best position coach on the team. And that might be a hot take, but I don't know that it really is if he's able to pull all that off.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking a little bit earlier. I mean, earlier as in a few months ago when Ashton Cozart decommitted and, it was panicking and no offer for Cole Adams. And some people were like, man, what is Gundy doing? What are we doing? And now we're in a spot where Keon Brown is here, or Keon Braun, as you like to say, is committed. some transfers. The whole feel of the wide receiver room is a total different feel. And that's going to lead us into our next guy that was a part of these original 8 that we were alluding to this morning is Cole Adams. He's been a guy that we've been talking about for months, kind of like demanding his, offer to be given out to him. But 2023 4-star, number 304 overall, number 40 wide receiver in the class, 5'10", 180 pounds. He visited Alabama on the 3rd, OU on the 10th, and Arkansas on the 17th. So he's coming off of his Arkansas visit about a week and a half ago at this point. I think OU is – I would think OU's the team to beat here. We thought for a while, I think it's – when did he get his offer from Oklahoma? Was it the end of May, I want to say he ended up getting his offer? Let me double check. May 24th, he got his offer. And I remember us having this conversation saying, you can't keep waiting on him, keep waiting on, delaying his offer. Well, he is a hometown guy. He's a fan of OU. At some point, everyone has a breaking point of like, well, you waited too long, I'm done. And luckily, it seems like OU didn't wait and push it too long. I know they wanted to go see him, evaluate him before they gave him that offer, and they did that. And OU immediately, the week after of the Alabama visit, got him on campus. And now OU seems to be trending in the right spot, while Arkansas, I do think, made him think a little bit. There was an article in the Tulsa World that came out a couple of days ago, it was this weekend, that he came out and said that he's going to make his commitment over the next month or so. He's going to evaluate between the 3 schools of OU, Arkansas, and Alabama. My gut's telling me OU's got this. I think he's going to be one of those guys mid to late July. He's going to join the chosen class. What do you think?
I mean, I agree. And he's a guy that I really don't want to see us lose, as he has an in-state talent. And I think he's the best player in the state of Oklahoma for the 23 class. So it would be huge. Though I will say, I think Arkansas is a legitimate threat, not just like a dark horse type threat. I think they're pretty legit. My youngest brother is a senior in high school, and him and his best friend running around in some groups, and they were with Luke Hawes one night. So he has Luke Hawes on Snapchat, and Luke Hawes and Cole Adams post like hanging out together all the time, like literally all the time, almost daily is what I'm hearing. So if they're forming that kind of rapport and that kind of closeness, I think that puts Arkansas in a pretty good spot for him. It's not everything, but I mean, I think Arkansas is a legitimate threat in this recruitment process. I think it's a 2-team race between us and Arkansas. But at the end of the day, I do think we'll find a way to close and get it done. And we have to. I mean, Brent Venables, he spoke many times about how closing the in-state talent is the most important thing to do, and Cole Adams is the best player in the state, I think.
You think Cole Adams is the best player in the state?
For 23, who's better? You can say Jacoby
Johnson.
No. I've seen Jacoby Johnson for 2 years, and I love Jacoby Johnson's game. It might be 1A, 1B. Jacoby Johnson's that guy, but Cole Adams is that guy too. But
I'm not saying Cole Adams isn't really good. I mean, he's awesome, but Jacoby can play both ways, plays basketball.
I love Jacoby Johnson. I'm not sitting here saying I don't love Jacoby Johnson. I've been on the sideline for 2 years watching that kid play every single snap. He's unreal. I think Cole Adams is the best player in the state. And that's no slight at all to Jacoby Johnson. Because that kid is another kid that I don't want to see us lose out on.
That's a bold take, but I guess it's not a far stretch at the end of the day for, you claiming for him to be the best. Jose joined in on the live stream. Did you see his comment about Brandon needs a shotgun, a couple beers? Anyone else think Brandon needs to? Oh gosh.
Jose, man, that guy.
Yeah.
What a guy. We love him.
And then also Zachary Lansing and Matt Bingham, Bingham said Cole's number 3, and, by Joby's right there, and Luke Haas. So could there be a case for either one of those two being as
there's a case for all 3 players. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess I'm discounting or discrediting by Joby just a little bit because of because I don't think he's going to Oklahoma, so I kind of just forget about him. But yeah, you're right. Bajobi is a hell of a player. I think there's a case for all three players. I'm getting ridiculed here in the live chat about shotgunning cold ones.
Do you have a couple cold ones sitting there?
I can check the fridge. Damn, there's another one.
There's a few people. Jose's starting to riot.
Coming at me. All right, give me 5 minutes. Yeah. I know I have some hot Miller Lights that Jose got me for his wedding. Chilling in the car still.
Yeah, go get some hot Miller Lights.
I could bust out some hot Miller Lights, and yeah, I guess we'll figure it out. All right, I'll go grab them for Jose.
Yeah. Or you can get one out of the fridge. Brace says there is one. All right. Well, this is just the Brum show for just a little bit. Looks like we've peer pressured him into it, and he might be drinking some warm Miller Lite now. So we'll just hang out and wait on him. I'll go through and see some of the comments. Daxton, I think Sam Pittman is originally from, I believe, El Reno, Oklahoma. I am not sure if he actually lived here or not. I know he went to Pittsburgh, Kansas for school, the Gorillas. So let's see. Jeremy Turpin, what do you think on the safety Bowen out of Denton? Bowen, I think, is got a lot of potential. He's back. Did you get some cold ones? Coming back here. All right. I'll wait for him before we get talking.
Well, Brace, my roommate, Brum and I's longtime friend, is actually watching the live, and I went outside to get my car keys, and he was walking to the fridge, seeing if we had any beers in the fridge. We didn't have any cans in the fridge, but he did have a cooler. They're not necessarily cold, but they're going to be a hell of a lot better than some oven beers at this point.
I was going to say, I got a question. Well, let's talk about something before you shotgun. All right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So Peyton Bowen, this was a question. I forget. I lost it in the chat. I believe it's Jeremy Turpin asked this. What do you think about the safety out of Denton Bowen? So I think OU is in a pretty good spot for him. He continues to talk with OU, even though he's committed to Notre Dame. He's been on campus. I believe he's been on campus like a half dozen times. I might be wrong, but I know he's been there quite a few times because Denton's just right down the road, just down 35. He keeps talking to OU, and I feel like Notre Dame has a rule that you can't take an official visit while you're committed to Notre Dame. You can't go elsewhere. I think OU is going to get an official visit, and then they just offered. Obviously Jackson Arnold's there, but then OU just offered their teammate, is it Ryan Yates, I believe his name is, just offered him, and he's committed to LSU, but his commitment seems a little soft. I think OU is in a pretty good spot for Bowen and could very well end up winning his commitment.
I think Ryan Yates' commitment to LSU is pretty much charm and soft. I don't see that one sticking. I absolutely agree, and I think Jackson Arnold plays a big role in that, in flipping these kids. We're going to start a Denton to Norman pipeline, and I think it could legitimately start with Peyton Bowen. Hose, if you're still watching, bud, we'll put the first one down now. I also have a Michelob, which we might get to later in the show, depending on how long we go. We're popping off, having a good time. Cheers.
And here he goes. Was it like somewhat cold?
It actually wasn't bad.
Well, there's one right there. Brandon got himself one down.
Yeah. Shotgun one or two in my day.
Oh, man. Peer pressure is something else, isn't it?
Peer pressure is 100% real.
Yeah, I mean, look at what the chat just made you do.
I can't not do what the chat says to do. Got to give the people what they want. They are what makes us a show, and we love them.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, entertainment.
And best. I do agree with Sean Hall that said Jose needs to do one with me, and I'm sure the resort is all inclusive. Jose, if you're still there, have Carly record you doing a shotgun on Snap or something and send it to either me or Brum, and we can kind of show it this way. You can kind of do it in the spirit. Lise, Brum's mom in the chat. It didn't feel great. It's better than shotgunning, or it's better than shooting wine, though.
Yeah. Jose says, sorry, boys, I'm watching en route somewhere else. All right. So, okay. Now, Brandon's got one down. We'll move on to the next one. I did it for the people. We're almost at 170. So be sure, if you hadn't already, like the
hold
video,
on, Brum.
Subscribe. What?
You're up.
Oh, man.
Get your ass a beer right now and put it in your mouth.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Just do it. Someone commented. Keaton, if I could do a front flip, I would absolutely do it. At Jose's wedding, I tried a near backflip type situation, ended up busting my face all up. And there's Sean Hall. Mama Brum, your son is next.
Oh,
Brum, go grab yourself a beer and shotgun it.
I gotta go get it, and it's out of the fridge. I gotta give it a little time to warm up because I will not be able to make it through an ice cold beer shotgunning.
What a show. Jose says, let's go, Brum. Man,
yeah,
this live thing, we should do it more often. This is more fun than our regularly recorded shows.
Yeah, you keep the people entertained.
Oh, I'll do my best. Matt Bingham, I agree. You have to put things in your mouth. Yes. Bottoms up, Brum. Man, this is fun. Yeah, good times. I don't know what Brum did when I ran to the beer store, but I'm just going to go through the comments here. Oh, Keaton's getting a beer for us, too. We're getting everybody drunk on a Monday night. Who's winning in a fist fight between the three of us? I think I dominate that.
I highly doubt that.
I think I dominate that, run away with it.
I highly doubt that. All right.
All right, should we do an actual football question now? Matt Bingham did ask a football question, and I think that is important. He says, who was the next to commit? And that has to be Omasigo, right?
I would think so, yeah. I mean, being Thursday.
He commits Thursday, yeah. 3-star linebacker, Texas. I forget exactly what town, but he had, about 90 tackles, 4 picks last year. Very instinctive football player. Kind of just like Heath Ozaeta. I think he's going to be an underrated commit for us that I think could be pretty good.
Oh, man, Jamie just one-upped us saying I'm drinking vodka. All right. So I'm letting the beer warm up because I got to give it a little bit
Jose
of time.
did not handle me in wrestling. Do you see Brace's comment?
Oh, no, that's 100% the truth. He handled you no problem.
No.
Anyway, all right. Let's move on to a football topic. Is Peyton Kirkland. Peyton Kirkland, someone earlier in the chat was asking, is LeBlanc and Kirkland, are they a package deal? And my response is no. 100%. I don't think anyone's commitment really weighs on another. And I think that OU can get one or the other, and they might be able to get both, but just because one doesn't commit doesn't mean the other will or won't. Peyton Kirkland, he's already got the size, 6'6", 345-pound offensive tackle from Orlando, Florida, 2023 4-star, number 261 overall, number 25 offensive tackle in the class. It seems to be a 3-team race of OU, Michigan State, and Florida. And as of recently, it seems more like an OU Michigan State battle. And there have been some crystal balls put in by some Michigan State insiders that, in favor of Michigan State. While Mel Tucker is a great recruiter and Kirkland is he's from the Chicago area, has family in the Chicago area. I don't think Kirkland ends up being a part of Michigan State. I think as he comes off of this post-visit high, I think he'll come back to reality and we'll just I think he's OU's. I really do. I think I feel good. I feel way better about Kirkland than I do than I do LeBlanc. What do you think?
I mean, I absolutely agree with the last thing, where I definitely feel better about Peyton Kirkland coming to Oklahoma versus Derek LeBlanc. I think I'd probably prefer Derek LeBlanc, but I don't see that happening. But yeah, I agree. I think with Peyton Kirkland, he has that post-visit high that is a real thing. He's just being up there in East Lansing and, doing all that. And Mel Tucker I think he's a hell of a coach. But I think when it all comes down to it, when it's said and done, his mom lives in Houston. I know he's close with her. He wants to be somewhat close to her. And I know Norman to Houston's not necessarily a close drive, but it's a hell of a lot closer than East Lansing is. I know he has family in the Chicagoland area, though, which I guess is pretty close to East Lansing. But I agree. I think when it's all said and done and the dust settles, Peyton Kirkland will probably be a Sooner.
And wow, I do think that Kirkland could be one of those two guys that aren't a part of this chosen 23 class. There's something about it that I just don't think at the end of the day he's going to truly go through with a commitment to Michigan State.
On another unrelated note, back to beer, Jose said to tweet a picture of your beverages. Those of you who are drinking with us in the live stream, I think that's a fantastic idea. We'll retweet every single one of them. Drinking with 2 Plain Sports tonight. We're having a good time.
Having a great time. Let's see any other. So we kind of went through kind of a recap for anyone that's kind of come in late. Heath Ozaeta, we talked about him earlier. Jaquazi Petaway, we see him being a part of this class. Cole Adams, a part of this class. And Peyton Kirkland. While it seems like Michigan State is kind of ahead right now, per se, based off crystal balls, I think Kirkland could definitely be a part of this class. Derek LeBlanc, I'd say at best is a 50-50 coin flip right now, maybe 51% towards Florida. I really don't think Penn State is truly in the running for him at all. And it leads us to one more guy. And we kind of talked about him a little bit earlier, is Jacoby Johnson.
Hold on. Did you see what
No.
Did you see what our boy Daxton said? You got all caps shout out. Brum, I would feel a lot more safe if you shotgun and then we go back to football. And I personally agree. I would feel better about Peyton Kirkland's recruitment if you were to shotgun that beer right now.
I would feel a lot more safe.
Yes. So, now you have to. I'll entertain someone that's going on here. Someone else asked, Keith Shields asked, is Stacey Gage DeMarco's next Yamaha? I'd like to see it. I don't see it happening, though. I think Sergio Snyder.
Yeah.
Sergio Snyder is the next running back commit, I think, because I think we ultimately lose out on Dalen Smothers, unfortunately.
I would agree. I would agree with you. Oh, Brandon should shotgun another one at the same time as Jacob. 2 shotgun sports.
Brandon's gonna have to wait about. I'm gonna have to wait about 5 minutes. I ain't as good as I once was. Brody, how you doing tonight?
Oh, it might help if I unmute my mic. That might help. I'm warming up the beer right now just to slightly take the edge off. I'm about to do it. Get excited.
I'm very excited. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Edge of my seat. Feel a lot better. Got to make sure his commitment.
Got to make sure Peyton Kirkland comes to Norman. So
if he comes to Norman because of the shotgun, I'd say it's worth it, right?
1,000%. I don't have the spins. I can drink pretty heavy. I think the beer gets me going. It gets me full. I can handle. If we're doing liquor drinks, we could drink liquor all night.
Brian's got the spins. Oh gosh. All right. You go through the comments.
We got Brody's asking about Jacoby Johnson. He's having some fun. Brody, you missed the Jacoby Johnson chat a little bit. I said on the show
we're going to talk more about him.
I know we're going to, but I'm saying earlier we had it on, and I think that Jacoby Johnson is probably the second best player in the state, and that was kind of frowned upon by some here. But I had Cole Adams as the best player in the state for the 23 class. Who wins in a fist fight, me or Lincoln Riley? I put Lincoln Riley in a home. Bro, are you doing it sometime today?
No, I am. I was letting the dog finish his bark, and he had to protect. All right. While he's barking, I'm going to do it.
When is Jacoby Johnson committing? I have not seen an official date for him, an announcement. I don't know if you have or not. I guess we'll wait for you to finish that.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Pretty good. But
have
you seen anything regarding Jacoby Johnson's recruitment? I have not seen a date yet or anything.
No, I haven't seen a date yet. It's more of a gut that I think he's looking at towards the end of July, beginning of August. I think he's going to be done with this recruitment before the fall senior season starts for him.
So, and with Jacoby, are we confident in saying that it's between us, Michigan, and Stanford?
I don't think Stanford truly is in it.
He took an official to Stanford, so they've got to be at least a top 5.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I get that, but I mean, I do agree. If you're going to take an official, I do think you're a top 5 school. I just really don't think that's the spot for him in the end. While the Michigan visits seem to go really well, I just don't think that. I don't know. I know they're trying to sell him the idea of being like the next Dax Hill and all that stuff, but I just don't think he ends up going to Michigan. Alabama, I think, is still out there. He took a visit out to Tuscaloosa. I really think that that could be it. Keith Shields, liquor drinks. I keep hearing the Jim Leahy puns. So finally, someone got it.
The liquor drinks go down easier than the beer drinks. I just always thought that. But yeah, Jacoby. You don't have Stanford at all in the running, because I think they do, and I agree with you on Alabama. I think you can never really count out Alabama. I mean, what they do is you can't argue it. They win, and it'd be hard, I think, to say no to Nick Saban.
Yeah. Hang on, entertain the people. I'm gonna get the dog under control. Hang on,
we got a 2 Buzz Sports in the comment. That's pretty good. We'll go through here. We had a couple more comments outside of Jacoby Johnson.
Two Buzz Sports.
2 Buzz Sports is pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
How many guys have you gone through now? We did 4 earlier today on our regular recorded show.
Yeah, we did 4.
We've talked Cole Adams, Jaquazi Go Crazy. We've talked a little bit Jacoby Johnson now.
Heath Ozaeta on the commitment, Peyton Kirkland, Derek LeBlanc, and we talked a little Sammy Osowingo.
Yeah.
So those couple guys are we went through. Actually, that's all of the people that we were alluding to. I mean, plus Heath Ozaeta and Derek LeBlanc. Those were the few people. There's the dog. He wanted up on my lap, of course.
You want us to do a Q&A now?
Yeah, let's open it up. We've been on for about an hour.
Let's open it up for we'll do another 30 minutes or an hour or so. Let's do a Q&A. I know we've missed a couple of questions going on about liquor drinks and all sorts of stuff, but what's the buzz on Micah T's Vickers, fellas? I think Micah T's were out of it. I don't see that one happening, unfortunately. Makari Vickers, I feel different about. I think Oklahoma sits in a pretty damn good spot with Makari Vickers. What about you, Brim?
So I do agree. I think Micah T's OU is out on him because T's has made the decision that he wants to be a wide receiver, and OU has basically said that they're not going to recruit him as that. And so he's going to look to where he can go play the wide receiver spot. And so T's, I don't see him coming back unless he has a change of heart to play as a cornerback. I certainly hope he does, because it seems like OU thinks he's obviously got a higher ceiling as a defensive back. Makari Vickers, he took his official visit to Alabama. I think it was this past weekend. It seems like Alabama might be taking over in that recruitment. Not saying it's over because Keon Brown is there to recruit him.
Keon Brown.
Keon Brown is there to recruit him in favor of OU. I just don't think I don't feel good about either one of them. I don't see either one of them being a part of this class. Maybe I'm being negative, but that's just kind of what I
kind of feel better about Makari Vickers, but yeah, I can see you being right. Your mom says I should shoot wine next time instead of beer. I'm on board, Lise. I am on board. Then we have Matt Bingham. He asks, who is Jackson Arnold trying to help bring in? I think we talked about that a little bit earlier, and I think right now the priority, if I were to bet, would be Peyton Bowen and Ryan Yates, his two Denton Ryan teammates. And I think there's a good chance he flips both. We talked about it on a show. We talked about Peyton Bowen specifically, but I think there's a good chance we flip Peyton Bowen from Notre Dame and Ryan Yates from LSU.
Well, and you know who I think is actually, I mean, not only is he recruiting both of those guys, but I think he is huge in the recruitment of Jaquazi Petaway. He's been working hard on Petaway like no other.
Jaquazi go crazy?
Yeah, Jaquazi go crazy. You heard it here first from Brandon. You know, as soon as a commentator like Gus Johnson probably uses it on a game day, you'll be like, well, he stole it from me.
We need to trademark it right now.
I agree. So I think I would say that Jackson Arnold is recruiting, you know, a lot of people, but I think Petaway is probably his number one target, in my opinion. Obviously, his teammates are there, but as far as on the offensive side, I think it's him.
Petaway probably should be. I mean, I'm very, very high on Petaway. We got a question from Brody. Jacoby Johnson on the offensive side of the ball or defensive? I see him playing defense. I know you argued defense. That. I thought. No, you think defense too?
Defense.
Yeah,
defense.
Corner. I think corner for sure.
Yeah, definitely corner.
Sooner Thrawn. Yeah. Sooner Thrawn says, what about the 4-star kid from Durham, North Carolina? What is his story? Is that is he talking about Dalen Smothers there?
No, he's talking about the defensive end, right? Which comment was it? What about the 4-star kid from Durham? That's J. Braun Harvey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's J. Braun Harvey. You know, it seems like OU was really trending for him well. I haven't really read or heard anything that is, you know, to make me change my feeling on him. He's committing on July 1st. He isn't a part of, you know, our initial 9-10 guys or whatever we talked about between this morning and tonight. I don't know. I really don't know what he's going to do. I mean, there's no crystal balls in for him either way. Sometimes something's telling me that I think South Carolina could be in this. And also Louisville is recruiting at a high level with their NIL. I assume NIL is heavily involved with the Cardinals after what they've been pulling in, obviously with Reuben Owens and DeAndre Moore Jr. I would hope that J. Braun is a part of this class, but I would not count on it. I haven't really seen anything recently to make me feel good about him.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. And now I'm starting to just go through these comments one by one. So after we talked about J. Braun, we have Les Wilson says he hopes Jackson Arnold shines at Elite Evan. That can help in recruitment. I absolutely agree. It can help in recruitment. And I'm going to go out and be bold, and maybe it's just the homer in me, but I was actually talking to Jerry about this earlier, my youngest brother. But I think he's going to be the best player at the Elite 11. I think he outperforms Malachi Nelson. I think he outperforms whoever else is there. I am so high on Jackson Arnold. I think he is the most slept on 5-star I can think of in recent memory.
I would agree with you. I mean, he can throw every ball. He can make every pass. He's a little more quiet. You know, he's not as, you know, big on social media like a Caleb Williams or a Spencer Rattler is, and that's totally fine with me. Jackson Arnold, if you guys haven't seen him, and I'm going to try to make a high school game this fall. I'd love to see him live. You know, it's not that far away. Denton's not that far. He's got a lot of potential, and I know we're trying to get him on the show. I'm not trying to spoil. We're hopefully going to try to get him on.
You got to stop giving away all our secrets, man. You talked about Toby Rowland. Now you're talking about Jackson Arnold. Can you let us do some surprises? Yeah, well, I guess, Brum, the cat's out of the bag now. We are working hard to get Jackson Arnold on the show for you guys. I think that'd be a really fun interview on this show. We have Jamie Teeter saying box wine stand next time. That sounds tough.
Oh my. Oh,
then we got Jenna James saying, when does Phil Picciotti commit? Similar with Jacoby Johnson, I've not seen an official announcement or date yet, but also similar to Jacoby Johnson, I personally feel pretty damn good about that recruitment and where we sit.
Yeah, I saw that, he went to Auburn. This was his last official visit. He basically said that he's going to go back home with his family, evaluate and figure out and, rank the teams and figure out who's going to be the ultimate pick. I see it before August 1st. Phil Picciotti was in our video this morning that we talked about. I see Phil Picciotti being a part of this class. That's just more of a, good visits. He's been there multiple times. And I think the timeline or the deadline on him is towards, August 1st, closer probably to the end of July, if I were to guess.
Yeah. And then Keith Shields says he sees Luke Haas flipping back to OU. As much as I'd love to see that, I don't see it. Are you more optimistic than I am on that one?
No, I think OU's in a tough spot with the tight end position. I don't necessarily see OU landing another tight end in this class. I think Cade McIntyre is going to be the only tight end, at least coming out of high school, that's going to be a part of this class. I see McIntyre coming in and playing well, but I mean, he is a 3-star and he will require some time to work out and develop and all that stuff. So he's not going to be a day one starter, in my opinion. I think OU, if there's one spot in this 2023 class and it hasn't even been close to finishing, we're going until the end of December, or I guess February, technically for National Signing Day. I think we're going to look at this tight end class and we're going to wish that there was one or two other guys in this grouping. And I just don't see another tight end coming in the 2023 class.
Here's an interesting question that I think we've talked about before, but I mean, I think it's a good question. It's worth talking about here. Kevin it's from Kevin. Thoughts on Dylan Edwards to Kansas State and how much the Caleb Hicks commitment played a role in that. I think it played a huge role. I think after Caleb Hicks committed, for some reason, Dylan Edwards, and you alluded to it before too, Brum, maybe not so much Dylan Edwards gave up on us, where it could be vice versa. Dylan Edwards kind of played the game too long, bounced around, was so wishy-washy, and I think OU, stealing your point, I think OU kind of just moved on, was kind of done with him. But I do think Caleb Hicks committing played a big major role in that.
Oh, I 100% agree. Caleb Hicks committing put OU in a spot to put some pressure on him and use their leverage to say, listen, we've got 2 spots. We already have one player on our, committed to us. You either need to commit to us now or we're moving on to the next guy, like a Dalen Smothers or a Sergio Snyder Jr. or even someone else that they haven't even offered yet. It put him in a spot where, we don't need you. If you want to play the game, go ahead and play the game and get the NIL money. And that's been the big problem, I think, with Dylan Edwards is he was wanting to play the game and then he realized that OU wasn't playing it. And he just was like, well, I'm going to go back to, where my family and his ties to K-State. And I'm sure the NIL deal was pretty good for him there as well, to keep, to stay at home. I'm just glad it's over. It's one of those things. I didn't even care if he committed to OU at this point. I just wanted it done because some days he was all OU and some days it was, polar opposites. So I'm just glad it's over.
Yeah, we got a couple of fun comments here. Well, we got a text from Jose about 5 minutes ago saying he owes us a couple shotguns. So on Friday's video, expect to see Jose shotgun a couple. Minimum, we'll hold him to it. And then Ben Belcher comment. Did you see Ben's comment? Roses are red, violets are blue. 2 Buzz Sports will outdrink you. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that one.
That's probably true.
Yes. Christopher Shannon, Jason Llewellyn ? I'm not really sure what the question is.
Jason Llewellyn. I guess is he asking if he thinks that he'll kind of fill that void and kind of help out.
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do think that Llewellyn could develop and be that guy. I just think OU kind of botched it a little bit, and they needed 2 tight ends in this class, and they might take a transfer like another Daniel Parker. Nothing wrong with that. I just think that they really needed to get another one in this class. Not saying it's over. I mean, it is June. Things can change between now and December or February. So crazy things can happen.
I'm higher on Caden Helms in the tight end recruits, I guess. I think Llewellyn could be a player, but I think Caden Helms brings a lot to the table.
I think Llewellyn right now, as we talk today, is a little better than Helms. But Helms' best versus Llewellyn's best, I think Helms is up here. Once Helms, gets a year or 2 in the system, he could be that guy. And nothing against Jason Llewellyn. I mean, he very well could be, and he might make me eat my words, but I do agree. I think Helms has a lot of upside with him.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we're wrong on this show, we'll admit to it.
Yeah.
I certainly hope I'm wrong about LeBlanc, but I just don't see it.
Yeah. So let me go through. I'm going to be looking at some more. Oh, Jag Sooner mentioned AP versus Le'Veon Bell. Did you see that?
No, what? AP versus Le'Veon Bell?
They're doing an exhibition boxing match. I mean, what is it? What is with it with professional athletes and these people that are famous doing boxing matches now? They just see dollar signs.
It's been fun.
Maybe I need to double check the stream, but I think Brandon might be frozen. Might give him another minute or 2. I'll hang out here and look at Oh, there you are. You're back.
Sorry, yeah, I froze out there for a second, but going back to the whole fighting thing, I appreciate Matt Bingham. He said me no doubt versus Lincoln Riley. I appreciate that.
Definitely. Okay, I'm looking through.
You shotgun another one tonight, or are you just keeping it at one?
Just one for me. You're better. You're well seasoned compared to me. After it's been a few years since we've been in college. Okay. I'm trying to look through. Sparkplug says he's going to call for General Booty every 4th quarter. Jimmy Satterfield says Caleb Hicks reminds him of Ramondre Stevenson. That's a good comparison. That's a really good comparison. Stevenson is they have similar builds. Hicks needs to put on a little bit more weight, but I could see him getting up there. And Matt Bingham brought up, and Keith Shields also talked about it. Could Jason Llewellyn outgrow the position? I mean, yeah, he is already 270 pounds. He could. I mean, you think about the professional tight ends like a Gronkowski or whatever. Normally their max weight is 260 to 275, somewhere in there. So if he gets much heavier, it might be tough for him to maintain with that.
Hold up, Ben commented from this point on, these lives should become a 2 shotgun minimum. I'm here for that. That means, Brum, you gotta put another beer in your mouth.
We'll do it from here on out.
No, I mean, he means like from here on out, like from right where we stand.
Well, Jose got out with none.
He's putting 2 down on Friday.
That's true. I guess I got a question for everyone that's in here and watching. It seems like a lot of people are enjoying this live stream. Would everyone be on board with some more regular live streams? Maybe we do it. I don't know. What do you think? Do we do it once a week? Once every 2 weeks? What's too much? What's too little? What does everyone want us to do?
I'm personally on board for a once a week live stream if everybody else is. Matt Bingham did just comment, "Put in your mouth right now."
Yeah, and I think something that we talked about a little bit ago, but it's been a while. Something that we're working on. We're gonna try to do like a membership type deal, like Brennan Shotguns. I'll kind of do this spiel. We're thinking about doing like a membership type deal. It's just gonna be a few dollars a month, where we will have probably some more live streams just for members only. We're going to be eventually we're going to be working on merchandise, so we might be able to give away some merchandise in that group. We're going to have a community board where you can post and discuss and talk about a bunch of different things. We're going to really try to make it worth it to give more content. And if you guys don't want to, sign up or whatever, it's no big deal. We're just trying to give you guys more content, and we just need some feedback if you guys be interested in that. We're really working hard on that, and we're hopefully going to have that. I mean, we're going to have it by the end of July. We're going to do it before the football season. We're going to start having regular, live streams just for general for everyone, but we might have some more stuff for just people that would like to, support our channel, because everything that gets, sent to us or whatever we earn goes right back into the channel for equipment upgrades when we're working on merchandise and everything else. So I just have to put that out there to see if anyone would be interested in that. And I think once a week would be really good for us. So yeah. All right. Oh yeah, Jordan, just turn on the notifications. Yeah, see, if you turn that notification bell, as I always say in every video, you guys would know when we will go live, and we're generally going to be able to.
I got to rock a piss break, so just you run the show.
Yeah. Daxton, talking about a two plane sports tailgate, that is going to be something that's in the works. I don't think it's going to happen this fall, but I think that's going to happen in 2023. I think we're going to try to start doing some tailgates where we can all hang out, everyone that's, that watches us a whole bunch, that would like to stop by, have some food, have some drinks. And that's something also that, we're going to try to turn around. If you guys do want to, pay the monthly deal of, I think it's gonna be like $5 or something like that. We're going to be trying to give it away tickets to home games this fall. We gave away a bunch of tickets for the spring game for anyone that, won one. I think Daxton, I think you won a set of tickets, and there's a few other people in here. But yeah, I really think we're going to try to do some tailgates, have a meetup, and do that type of stuff. So, and I think that would be a pretty good time. All right. Yeah. And, and that's another thing is, if we have a tailgate and, you guys are helping us out, by paying and donating and whatnot, we're not going to charge anyone really to like come and eat and drink and things like that. It would just be more to hang out and do things like that. So, yeah, so it seems like the feedback, Brandon, it seems like every 2 weeks, one every 2 weeks, maybe once a week might be a little much for us, maybe because it's a little watered down. But I do think we need to do it a little more regularly. I think, especially when it comes to football season, I think we can go every week though.
I agree. We got a couple comments about a 2 plane sports tailgate. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I was talking with them.
Yeah, I don't know. We missed that. I think for the first game of the season, it'd be awesome if we could all, if Hose can make it somehow from Arizona, it'd be awesome, and just all be there. Do you think now would be a good time to drop the news that I have?
Yeah, I think first game would be good to meet up, but I think a full on tailgate would be like where we can actually set up and have food and all that stuff might be next year. But yeah, I'd say you go ahead and drop the news on everyone.
So Jose and Brum have known this for a while, and it is what it is. I'm going to be here for the first 2 games of the football season. And then after that, I'm going to miss about 3 months, 4 months of the show. And it'll be the Jose and Brumbaugh show while I'm gone. I'm going to basic training. I joined the Army National Guard, and the plan after that is to go back to college and chase an aviation degree. So Brum and Jose are going to hold it down while I'm doing basic and AIT and all that, but then I'll be back to the show.
Yeah. So it'll just be the Brum and Jose show for mid-September through, I don't know, first 10 for another 10 weeks or so. That'll put us into October or November, December, somewhere in there, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So, something like that.
you'll be out for a while and you'll come back and get to watch when OU goes to win it all or win a Big 12 title and everything else. But yeah, it's good. It does suck that we're going to miss you for a few months, but I think long term, I think that's the best thing for you, and it's a good thing to do for everyone. I can't say I've ever done that or will plan on doing that, but it takes people like you to be able to do it.
I appreciate all the good luck in the comments, fellas.
Yep.
Keaton, I also appreciate you getting a 12-pack right now for us. That's awesome.
The Jose Kevin show.
So yes, Brum, you've got the Jose Kevin show. That's fantastic. Appreciate all the love, guys. It means a lot. But Brum, yeah, you have to shotgun a second one. You have to even it out. Everybody said it.
Nah, I can't do it.
Les says, wow, you were going to feel every one of those beers. Yeah, I actually stopped drinking as much as I used to. Been on a lot of water, a lot of working out, a lot of push-ups, a lot of running. Had my first drill this weekend. I think it went pretty well. But yeah, I do need to stop slamming 25 beers a week probably.
Yeah, no, definitely.
We will definitely have to drink listening to just Jacob and Jose.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny. That's great. Let's see. I think I saw one question. We'll take a few more and then we'll probably call it a night here pretty soon. We've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. Unless everyone wants to keep going. I mean, we still have 140 people in here. Surprising. I can't believe this many people actually like to listen to us talk. I mean, we love having you guys here. It's just shocking to us. So
yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're having a good time in here.
Let's see. I think there was a question I saw.
I will be going to Fort Jackson, by the way, for those who are asking.
I think I saw something about, does OU need to get in more in NIL? I can't remember where I saw it or who commented on that because I like to shout him out, and there's the dog. Hey, what do you think, Brandon? Do you think OU needs to get more into NIL?
I want to say no because I wish and I hope that – and I still think you will land a lot of players who aren't – like true blue are not looking for that as their first thing. I mean, look at Jackson Arnold, who, again, I think is a very, very good player, one of the best players in this 2023 class. He committed to Oklahoma not because of NIL reasons. But, I mean, A&M is the biggest reason that I think you do have to start chipping in more NIL stuff. Like, A&M is a school that regularly lands 1 to 2 5-stars pre-NIL days. This year, they buy a whole class. You look at Rashada getting $9.5 million to play quarterback at Miami. That's absurd. So, unfortunately, with the way things are going right now, I think you do have to start shipping out some more money to these kids for NIL deals, especially for like these, you know, the high-profile prospects, if you will. But, you know, with the deal we have with Barry Switzer in that program, we are in position to do so. So, I mean, there's real no excuse. We should be able to match, or if not match, at least compete in these NIL deals.
Yeah. So I do agree, but I think there's also a sense of being cautious with the NIL because I don't think OU or anyone knows what the NCAA is going to do to programs that take full advantage of the NIL, like a Miami has or a Texas A&M has or various other schools have, and they very well could be getting in trouble for it. You know, I do see the comment, are you going to shotgun another beer?
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Come on. What are you doing? It's one more beer. Just dude, it's a beer. I'll play another one with you if you play one more.
Roses are red, violets are blue, so is Brum for not drinking another beer, says Matt Bingham.
Come on, man. Yeah, you're getting called out hard on the show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you going to do it?
I don't know. Do people want me to?
Everybody clearly wants you to. I want you to.
Your dog bark translates into, come on, boss, don't let Brandon outdrink you on a live stream.
Yeah, I mean, hey, dude, everybody's calling you out.
Yeah. I saw a comment asking share your favorite memory from OU. I'll go grab another beer.
Yeah, while you're grabbing a beer, hell yeah, I will share mine. I think this is the year Brum may have been gone. I can't remember. Probably Brum being gone is what made it my favorite OU memory. I couldn't wait for that guy to move out when him and I were roommates. But the Ohio State game, we had probably 15 people. The one at Ohio State, because we were in Norman the year before, and we were all there watching it and stayed to the bitter end. Watched OU lose. Watched the Ohio State band come out and do all that. So we were at a friend's house for the Ohio State game. The beers were flowing. We were doing the keys, knees, and effed up thing that we had going for a little while. Got really into that game. Then Baker planted the flag. I don't think I've ever just felt any more joy for an OU moment in my college career than that. And then by that same token, about 4 months later, I've never felt more heartbreak watching any OU thing when Lincoln Riley screwed us out of a chance to play for a national title with his conservative ass play calling and not putting the ball in Baker's hands in overtime and the squib kick. So many things about that Georgia game. I can't watch that game to this day. I have to turn it off. It makes me want to cry.
That Georgia game was painful, absolutely painful. Matt, that's actually a really good suggestion, or one of your favorite memories when CeeDee Lamb made 4 or 5 defenders miss. That was quite.
That was awesome. I was at that game with Jose. I'll never forget that day either. Yeah, Jose and I got tickets and squatted up as a team, and we had pretty good seats for that one too.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I'm trying to think what planting the flag was always awesome, but I don't know. I think my favorite might have been I don't know. I'll tell you what, that it's one of my favorites. And as much as people don't want to talk about it, but that last OU Texas game was awesome. As much as, with Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley being gone now, that game was amazing to watch in the moment. I mean, it was frustrating that OU even got in that spot.
You have a real-time comment right now agreeing with you. Red River last year. Yeah, Keaton said he's probably just opening his 12-pack too.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not saying that, it ended up all great because, now we can look back and be like, well, it's Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley. It wasn't that great. It was awesome. And I really think that's one of my favorites. Obviously, Ohio State, planting the flag on Ohio State was one of my favorites. But if I go back and think about the Trevor Knight Sugar Bowl game against Alabama was awesome.
We watched that at your house. Remember that?
Yeah, 2013, I think it was.
Yeah.
That game was amazing. Matt Bingham asked, how many commitments does OU get in July? Well, in July, it just depends. I mean, I'm going to say between now and August 1st. It's only a few days left in June. OU got one today, so I'm not going to count Heath Ozaeta. Osamingo, I think, is going to happen. I think OU, by August 1st, could have 7 more commits. 7 more, roughly.
It's gonna end up being a top 10 class. I know you think top 5. I hope you're right.
Yeah, or at least top 7. I don't think 8, 9, and 10 are in play. I think top 7 is really going to happen.
I'll take it.
Yeah, no, I know.
But,
so,
you want to shotgun that one and we can hop off?
Yeah, I might. Rather than shotgun, I might just crack the top and just chug the whole thing.
All right,
if that works, I'd rather do it that way. You should ask, or you should answer Jordan Cornwall.
There's one more. I was about to say that's a good question. I mean, how long does Evers sit behind Dalen Gabriel, and how long does Arnold sit behind Evers? I'm not sure we ever see Nick Evers, unfortunately. I wouldn't be shocked, I guess, if Jackson Arnold started as a true freshman. What do you think?
Oh my gosh, that was freezing. All right, what?
I said I personally I'm not sure that we ever see Nick Evers. I wouldn't be shocked if you go from Dalen Gabriel, maybe a 2-year even Dalen Gabriel, right into Jackson Arnold.
It's not a ridiculous take at all. I tend to agree. I think Jackson Arnold right now is probably better than Nick Evers. Jackson Arnold is just that guy. To Bark Sports. But I could see Nick Evers coming in for 1 year to start. Could it be one of those deals where Dillon Gabriel's here for 2 years, and then Nick Evers comes in for 1 year, and then he does well and he goes to the league, and then Jackson Arnold just takes over because Arnold would be here. He would come the second year of Dillon Gabriel, red shirt behind Nick Evers for his redshirt freshman year. Oh, I guess he'd be behind Dillon Gabriel. I don't know, actually. Now that I'm kind of doing the math, Nick Evers very well might not start if Jackson Arnold lives up to the hype. I mean, it's not far-fetched.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great question, though. But yeah, that's kind of the way I see it playing out. I kind of see it going potentially 2 years Dillon Gabriel right into the Jackson Arnold show. But I mean, time will see how that plays out.
Yeah. So let's see. Jeremy Turpin said my favorite game, OU beat Nebraska 45-10 in 1990. Let's see. My favorite OU game was OU the bloodbath against Texas. Blake Bell had like four rushing touchdowns. That game was really fun.
I'm gonna grab one more cold one, just
for the people.
Keep it going. Yeah, I think Keaton called me out. Keaton asked for one more. I'll give him one more.
Yeah. So I guess while he's doing that, kind of to wrap, put it all together, I think over the next month, OU's going to have a great run of it. Could very well end up with 7 more commits, put them around 15 commits. And as I said this morning on the video this morning, OU, if they do get the 7 commits, should be around number 3 in the class, assuming no one else gets a commit between now and August 1st. Wow. That is not reasonable to think about. OU could have a top 5 recruiting class by August 1st. And so I think everyone needs to remember that. And I think OU is going to really have a great month. And if they don't, that's when I'll start panicking and being a little more concerned. But I was just kind of doing some final thoughts on OU could very well be, have a top 5 recruiting class by August 1st. Pick up another 7 commits or so. It could go really well for them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So it looks like Brandon's going to do a shotgun. Does anyone have any final questions? We might take 1 or 2 more, and that'll probably be it for tonight. Let's see these questions as Brandon's going to shotgun.
One more.
I'm watching the comments right now.
Oh. 63-14 beat down to Texas. 77-0 over A&M.
How many top 100 kids? I was thinking 7 to 9. I'm assuming by February and signing day. Top 100 kids.
Jaquazi Go Crazy. PJ Adebore.
Jackson Arnold. Caden Green.
Arnold. There's 4. Is Caleb Hicks top 100?
No.
No? Okay.
At the end of it, I think it's going to be probably around 6 to 8. I'd go a little bit lower. I think 6 to 8. I think a kid or 2 will commit that we're not really talking about right now. Could pop out in kind of nowhere as the season progresses. Sean, so your 7 is over under for recruits OU gets during this dead period? Yes. I think 7 is the over under till August 1st during this dead period. I'm counting. I know someone asked about just July, but I'm counting Sammy's commitment, hopefully come on Thursday. So I think 7. I do. How many 5 stars, Brandon? What do you think? Jackson Arnold's already one of them. Do you think OU gets another one?
Not this class. Not the 22 class. I don't see it. Do you?
I think there's a chance that they could get a second 5-star or one of the commits does rise to be a 5-star after the senior season. I just don't know. I think 2 at most, at the best.
Here's a fun question. It's not recruiting related, but how many rushing yards does Gray get this year, roughly? I'm actually at that high. I think about 400 to 500 because I think he's going to be overshadowed. I really do. I think just like last year, he was, forced into that, or not forced. He was picked to be the starter or whatever. And then Kennedy Brooks should have started all season, showed why he should have started all season. And then I think with this year, Marcus Major, if he can stay eligible, and I'm very high on Javonte Barnes, that duo, and even Tawi Walker. I think there's too many mouths to feed for Eric Gray to have 1,000 plus, but that's just me. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he gets closer to 1,000. I think he gets right about 1,000.
So do you have him as number 1?
Yeah, I do think that that he starts the season really strong and he gets most of the carries and whatnot, assuming it's not a blowout, but obviously there will be a blowout in the first few games. But Javonte Barnes, I do think will get quite a few carries. I still think Gray will get about 1,000 yards.
Is
800 to 1,100.
Is Mims a first or second round pick? That's tough. That one's harder to see. I can see him going second or third.
I see it more about a third round pick.
Yeah, I think he has all the talent of a first round pick, but it's just I don't know. Because
where did D.D. Westbrook go?
4th, right? Third.
I see Mims being like D.D. Westbrook, or that I need to double check because I can't exactly remember. I feel like it was a third round pick.
How many receiving yards does Marvin Mims get? I see him in the 1,000 or over. I think Marvin Mims will be the leading receiver again, but I do think Jalil Farouk is going to have a pretty good season. And I'm also pretty high on Jaden Gibson this year. I can see Jaden Gibson around the 500 or 600 yard mark.
Yeah, D.D. Westbrook, 4th round pick. I could see Mims being around that 3rd, 4th, second through 4th, but I see him more in that 3rd round.
Where do you have Mims as far as receiving yards for the season?
I think he's 1,000 plus. I think that's why he didn't end up transferring. I think Levy made it clear that that if you come back, we're going to use you, and you're going to have a great season with us. So I think he's 1,000 plus.
Who's the number 2 receiver in your book? I picked Jalil Farouk. Do you agree with that? Or do you go Jaden Gibson? Do you go Drake Stoops? Do you go
I think Theo Weiss. Theo Weiss. He's number 2.
I mean, it's time for Theo Weiss. He's got a 5-star coming out of high school, guy we're really excited about. Really hasn't panned out quite to that 5-star level yet that you think of with the typical 5-star. It's now or never for Theo Weiss, it feels like.
Yeah. We'll take just a few more. Renaud, where's he going? I think he's going to OU. I deep down, I kind of think it's going to be Alabama. I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like he's going to be a Bama, part of the Crimson Tide. Okay, well, there's Brandon. He's going for it. I do think that Lamar Jackson won that year because Baker and Dede were 3rd and 4th in Heisman voting, I believe. And Lamar won it that year. I could be wrong. Jalil Farouk should have a great season. He looked primed and ready to go from the bowl game and from the spring game. He looked really good. So
I'm just gonna say, don't sleep on Jaden Gibson immediately with immediate impact. His skill set is so it's unique and it can be used. He's so fast and so big. I think Jaden Gibson is gonna have at least 500 yards this year.
Yeah. Hey, that's a bold take, but I don't see it's not out of the question. It's not possible.
Keon Brown will have a better freshman year than Xavier Worthy. Facts. That's not a hot take. That's a money take. Good take. I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've taken our fair share of questions. We've been on for like an hour and 40 minutes. Man, this has been a great time.
This has been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I for one appreciate all of you guys drinking with us tonight on a Monday night. I know we got work tomorrow, but why not have a little fun first?
Yeah, no, we really appreciate all you guys coming in, chatting with us. We really enjoy hanging out, answering questions, and just really, hang for nearly 2 hours. I'm surprised that we're still above 100 people. So we really appreciate it. If you're still here, you hadn't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, like the video, share it, turn the notification bell. I think we're going to start. Doing one every other week. We'll probably start like kind of a membership deal. We might have one for those people, on the off weeks. We'll get some merchandise kind of in the works here pretty soon. I know some people are talking about some koozies. Maybe we'll get kind of a meetup for the first game this fall. And maybe we'll also do kind of a full-on tailgate for the 2023 season as well, like where everyone comes and hangs out. I
agree. And I also agree the first week of this season, if we can make it, I'd love to have a tailgate with everybody. Keaton also brought up a good point here. Bring on callers for short periods of time in the live. If we can do that, do you know how to do that?
Yeah. So we're currently on Zoom, and I'm sure you guys can see our Zoom water, whatever you want to call it, watermark. We are going to get on a platform where we can take people's calls, where we're going to be able to kind of get you guys' opinion. We'll get that in the works as well. And we'll kind of get more of that connection rolling, and we can kind of have some more live streams, and that might allow us to do more live streams as well, to do it that way with you guys. So if you guys would be about that, I'll get working on it, and between me, Brandon, and Jose, we'll figure it out. And we'll just talk a bunch of OU sports, man. This is
because I absolutely agree with the comment. I think it would be so fun to have to actually get to talk not face to face, but we can hear their voices and actually have a genuine conversation. That would be a lot of fun. I absolutely think that's a good point. Would we ever do a Twitter space? Would we? I mean, I'm okay with a Twitter space. I think it'd be fun. But yeah, we'll do all of that. We're trying to get, as engaged as possible, put as much content as we can in as many fun ways as possible. These live streams have been a hell of a time.
This is only our second one. We gotta start doing this more.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing these more. We're gonna grow this through our live streams. But again, we appreciate you guys watching, drinking beers with us, having a good time this Monday night. We will have a regularly recorded episode for Wednesday, and then Friday, and I guess we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, let's Brandon, let's commit to another live stream, July 11th, Monday night, 8 p.m. Central, July 11th, 2 weeks from today. Let's plan on that. Let's do a tentative date. That's going to be the next one. Does that work for you? At least it works for my schedule. Jose will be back.
Yeah, I mean, that's good for me.
Yeah, let's do that, and we'll get the live stream call-in platform kind of worked out between now and then, and we'll see what we can't do to get us some call-ins, and we can talk some OU sports. All right.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good night. We appreciate the support. We appreciate you hanging out tonight. We'll do it again soon. July 11th.
Appreciate it, guys. See you.